I'm Jason Joulard with EDL 852, the case study. Just to summarize the case, the Lightvale Community District, which is a rural district, they're going to essentially establish a new school. The community population has been increasing, which has allowed a need for modifications to the school. The district school board approved the construction project of a new middle school. Along with this, the superintendent hired a new principal, Susan Potter. Potter's initial objectives upon being hired: making staffing decisions, which she ended up hiring 4 new staff members, organize the school's programs, and collaborate with architects and construction managers. Those involved the committee of Susan Potter, the one that she put together, which consists of 4 teachers and 4 parents, to implement a school mission and vision statement. However, a problem within the committee is that they don't necessarily agree about how they're going about getting this vision statement and plan created, because they want to put the sole responsibility on Potter. So in terms of legal or ethical issues, it's not so much if anybody was hurt physically, but to me, it's more about what's going to happen in the future and how that's going to be affected. Susan Potter, she's right now trying to make that ethical decision of, do I want to do what's right versus what's easy? So deciding on our next move kind of comes down to what's best for the school and what's best for the students. Also, the school's future. By putting that framework or that foundation of that mission statement and building everything off of that, the school's future is kind of in the hands of Potter right now and her next decision. Also, community division. There were 3 options that the school board would eventually approve on, and the one that they decided that did create some division within the community, because not everybody agreed on it, which does happen. You can't make everybody happy. However, you've already got that ethical issue of just trying to get everybody on board and understanding why we're doing it. You don't have to like it, but we do need you to understand. It's not so much a legal matter. I do see a possible legal matter coming from, in case it was somehow made or put in a contract that stated you are expected to perform within the committee if a principal puts you in it, and if they don't essentially perform as a staff member, then that becomes a contract issue. So essentially what happened, Susan Potter, who became the new principal, appointed a group of 4 teachers and 4 parents to create a plan for middle school's philosophy, vision, and mission statement. However, the committee has thus far refused to collaborate on a plan and are placing the sole responsibility on Principal Potter. That, to me, is a pretty daunting task for one individual, especially somebody that's just trying to do it the right way. She sees the whole picture more so than just getting a job done. She wants to do it the right way, and she wants it to ultimately create a great school. Principal Potter was hired 12 months before the opening of the middle school. That was allow her some time to kind of get her feet wet and to start building that plan. The committee was formed to collaboratively develop a mission and vision statement. The building was designed for 450 6th through 8th graders, which is a public school. Potter is seen as a visionary leader and expected to deliver. In her short time there, she's already had an enormous amount of pressure from those around her, just expecting great things from her. This is a tight-knit rural community. I mentioned that there's already been some division in the decisions that were made within the school district, but the decision that Potter can make can either bring them together or can create more division within the community. So in terms of damaging, what could be damaged in terms for the stakeholders in the community, to me, it's trust. Those that have a hand within the situation, trust and perception. I think if Potter were to go ahead and say, you know what, guys, I'll take this, to me, that's kind of a weak move. And the perception of her might be, well, she's not very good at assigning roles, and she is going to go back on her word, because initially her goal was to put together this team that would create this plan, and you show a little bit of reluctancy to it, and what are you really showing about the type of control you have in accomplishing the goal? So the goal was to create this plan, and Right now, it's kind of in jeopardy of being created within that 12-month plan or 12-month period. Individuals and groups that have an important stake in the outcome, obviously the school administration, between the principal and the superintendent, they want something done and they want it done the right way. But ultimately, who it really comes down to affecting are the students, because it's not necessarily that the teachers had a terrible attitude about it, but you want people that are invested in what's doing right for the students and creating that foundation of the mission and vision statement. That's ultimately going to affect the students. And so you want to make sure that you're doing everything you can to make sure the student's future and education is at its best. All stakeholders have been consulted. What is still to learn? What it's going to take to have the committee buy in. You don't have to necessarily get them to love the idea, but as long as they can buy in and go ahead and deliver the collaboration to make this plan, that's really what Potter has to think about and focus on. So there are a few options. Option 1, simple, take no action and create the statement alone. Potter would just do it herself. Option 2, continue with pushing for a collaborative plan. Do what it takes to get the rest of them on board and risk them not doing it. So option 3, remove parents from the committee and make it strictly teachers to exercise power. It may not be in the contract, but I've been in cases where, and I've been in a situation where a principal didn't threaten, but he did warn, you don't have to do this, but if you don't choose to do it, in the future, when you need something from us, don't necessarily expect it. And I understood that completely. So you do have that ability to exercise that power, and by removing the parents who you don't have complete power over, that is an option. Then option 4, appoint new members to the group, starting with interested individuals. So essentially opening up to people that do want to come into and make some decisions. So evaluating the options. Option 1 is the no action, where essentially Potter would create it herself. This would ensure that no relationships are ruined, the plan is created, and it's easily approved, as it was stated in the case. However, to me, this is an easy way out. It's essentially a weak move. It's very stressful and daunting for one person, and there's a large amount of pressure, because if people don't think that she did a good job, well, it has her fingerprints all over it. So that ends up turning into a kind of a negative perception on her. Option 2, which is to continue with the plan of having them collaborate. Potter doesn't lose control. The plan is done the right way, and plan would be better for all. However, this could stress the relationships between the principal and the teachers, and it may not end up becoming complete. Option 3, you remove the parents. Again, you can exercise that power on the teachers. However, this creates a really negative work environment, and it does have that bad relationship to it. There's kind of that uncomfortable, it's kind of seems like a dictatorship kind of thing, but it is an option. Option 4, appoint new committee members. Set the tone. Say that we're not going away from collaborating. We will have some type of collaboration. Whether you want to be a part of it or not, you will see that we're going to have some type of collaboration. And it also might help you reach new group members easier, and there's more voices that will help. People can step up and just suggest anything, really. And then, however, there's some cons. You might have the same issues as plan number 2, and then you're kind of right back at the start if nobody steps up. So the best option would be option 4. You can find people that are invested and interested to add to the team. It'll show that Miss Potter is not dropping the idea of collaboration, which is a huge, just a huge good. There's a lot of good that can come from collaborating, and the fact that Miss Potter wouldn't want to drop that, it shows she does have power and control, but in the right sense, because she did want to make it a democracy. It'll also allow for more voices and more collaboration, which will create not only a wider range of a better statement, but allow for just better material within it. Ms. Potter can also will inform the superintendent and school board of adjustments. They can send out information just kind of a heads up to be at the meeting by mail, social medias, phone calls, and invite the community and members and other teachers to the next meeting. But I think the biggest thing is just stressing the importance. If you stress the importance of why this has to be finished and why we're doing this, people can start to buy in. So just kind of thinking about implementing the decision, to me, the next meeting would be everything. You want to be prepared for the meeting. Have a list of objectives that you want finished by the end of that meeting. Start with the why. Why are we there? What are we trying to achieve? And what's the point? Why do these 4 teachers want to have a say in it? Why do we want 4 parents involved? Why do we want more members involved? And then sell the idea. Get those to jump on board with the mission, because if they can understand why they're there, they'll start to understand or get the idea of why they need to actually take this seriously. Set clear expectations, not only a time frame of when you want this achieved, but the overall goal. What are the expectations of achieving this goal? What are the overall goal of setting a statement? And then plan out collaboration times. Within that meeting, once you've established those expectations and the why, go ahead and pose a concept. Let's start with putting the first sentence of the mission together. Now allow think time, and then allow this, the members to discuss, and then allow share time. Get those on paper, and then begin building towards the goal. Now, you got to understand that not every battle can be won. So in case that were to not work, Ms. Potter would need to take chairman position. Instead of just completely doing it herself, she could hold a whole staff meeting to get input, create the plan using that input, and then allow staff to suggest modifications before being finalized. Because again, I don't think you go away from the collaboration idea. You have to have that. Because for one person to do this all together just solely off of her ideas, not only is it not fair to her, but it's not necessarily going to be the best vision and mission statement. In regards to the standard, option 4, plan A, still meets that standard because it's stressing the importance of collaboration. Also, the backup plan still meets that standard of collaboration. It also shows the understanding, the value of having a strong mission and vision statement, that this is important and we will have this done the right way. Also, knowing the importance of creating the plan in a school setting, using staff and community members within the school. And then plan demonstrates a set of core values set in place, because the number one core value of what a school's mission is doing what's best for students. I want to thank you for the time that you took just to listen and watch. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.